Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Salvissupportingsalvis. Today we have the Ink Pusha and we're very excited to have him on our show. He is a super talented, very well writer. He just is the complete package. We are so honored that he is here to, share a little bit about his story, to share about his experience as a Salvi artist and just a few of the accomplishments that he has. He also does tattoos, so we're going to talk about a little bit about that as well. Let me just welcome him all. Welcome everyone that's joined. Just give me 1 second. Saludos. Hey guys, what's everyone up to? What are you guys saying tonight? What are the plans? Redemption. What are you guys saying tonight? Yeah, so for everyone that's joined our live, we are going live with Ink Pusha. We're just waiting for him to join. Yeah, how are you guys doing today? How's your Saturday? I feel like the time is just flying by, especially if you live in Toronto and get these nice days. Day is just not long enough. What are you guys? C4U events. They promote they promote a lot of local talent. They put on these mixtapes, and I was fortunate enough to be featured on one of their mixtapes. So make sure to check them out. They have a lot of they constantly upload new mixtapes and new mixes that you can definitely enjoy. You can hear new music, and it's just always a good energy and a good time. Hello, everyone. I hope my Wi-Fi is not causing problems. Ink. Hello, everybody. Hello. Saludos. Hi, George. How you been? Hello, everyone. Official Too Swift. Hello, everyone. So this is Ink Pusha, and yeah, he is. I think what I really like about his work, and especially when I met with we've connected over Instagram, and our conversation was very genuine. It was very deep. It was about music and how music has such a big part of can be such a big part of someone's life, and the way that you communicate with your lyrics is just everything. And yeah, it's very exciting. I'm super excited to see what he'll share with us tonight. I did send him a request. We're just waiting for him. I like your songs. Thank you. Your music is very nice. Thank you. Yeah, I have 2 songs out right now. I have Goodbye, which has music, which I did a music video for, and I have another, Like Me, North York. So what are your current favorite songs, everyone? Wait, think we need to stand this up. We should collab soon. I am actually looking at completing my EP first. It's going to consist of 5 songs. So once I finish that, we can open the conversation about collabs. Just right now, it's just not, oh, sorry. I got two phones. I will play my music video. So you guys, if no one has seen it yet, you're missing out. But I'm going to play my music video so we can hear it. So this was at Humber Bay Park in Toronto, and if you've never been, it's so nice. There's so many activities that you can do. There's like these beautiful rocks where you can sit. You can, you know, go with someone on a date. Okay. So just a recap for everyone that is here. Everyone's saying hi to DJ Torque, the one and only DJ Torque Oficial. Okay, so I have the Ink Pusha right now. What is, I just had them. What happened? One second. I think it's just our, it's my internet. But okay, let's just. Also, feel free to leave any comments or any questions that you guys may have for the Ink Pusha. I'm like dancing here. We're just waiting for him. He should be joining shortly. It could also be my internet. Been having a few issues. Okay, send request. I think we're happening. It's happening. We're moving. It's happening. Hey!
Hola!
Oh my gosh, how are you?
Where's your mask? Where's
Oh
your
my
mask?
gosh!
I got the clown mask, you know. When things get better, I get the happy one. But right now, this is what we do.
Yeah. I know. That you're leading by example, though. That is probably the best intro ever. That's been on Salvissupportingsalvis.
Honestly, we're happy, you know. And people always asking me, you know, it's like you fall apart, you know, the first shutdown, like it's real, you know, what's going on in the world. In a sense, it's real. People are really going through their situations, right? Themselves, right? So people always like, you know, I haven't seen a lot of people for a minute, and then when I run into a few people, you know, they're always like, you know, how are you, or how have you been?
Yeah.
And then honestly, like my answer is like, I'm happy, you know, I'm happy.
Yeah. And
I don't need nothing to be that, you know. That's the way that I like to live it, you know. It's like, you could be happy with very little, you know. And I think that's what I've been getting out of the whole thing is that simple little stuff, you know. It's enough. We want so much, and you know, we really live in a very material world, you know. So I think that this kind of has been helping people really take a look inside and be like, you know, who am I, you know. Very curious with it, you know. But how about you? How you been? Nice to meet you.
It's so
nice
cool
to
that you
meet you in
say
person.
that.
Like, this isn't in person, but you're from Toronto. We've never met, you know, never come across, but I've been watching you doing your thing too, huh?
So back to the point about like, you know, being second quarantine and everything. What I think a lot of us have realized is like happiness is a mental state. It's how you feel. It's how, you know, how you look at everything. So for me in the beginning, it was just, I looked at it I was very upset about everything. I'm like, all my plans, everything was just taken away from me. But when I realized that I had time to spend, you know, endless time to spend with family, loved ones, catch up with all these things that I pushed to the side. But it's a moment to realize your priorities. And thankfully for me, it was a moment to, you know, really focus on my music and connecting with people in the city. And yeah, I had a lot of time.
I honestly think it's been really good for artists, just because like it kind of, you know, when you take away distraction, right? All the arts are like, you know, we're talking about, you know, all the arts are people expressing themselves, right? Doing something that you like to do for no reason at all. You know what I mean? It's not getting you paid. It's not, that's not the reason. I think that when you have a reason and then it becomes a task, it becomes a job, you know? And, you know, with my tattoos, so for my visual art, that was always what paid my bills, that my livelihood was always from, you know, doing art, right? The visual art. And I've had salaries on that and jobs, and it becomes the money part of it, right? So as an artist, to remain an artist about it, I really had to kind of always remind myself when I did it for no reason, when I did it because I could do it, because, you know, I have access to that production, let's say, or I can, like, the music has been that for me in a lot of ways, you know, that I make music as well, because that's my hobby, you know. It's like some stuff, hobbies become careers, you know. It's been always my thing. Like, you don't know how that leads you into like an interview, you know, where people are watching you, or like a video, you know, goes from a production, you write to it, you go take it in, you record it. Next thing you know, that becomes a video. Next thing you know, you become a name, and then you become a face that goes with the name, and then it becomes a business, let's say. And I think that that's the point when things just kind of, lines could get blurred, you know, like,
for sure.
I'm a firm believer that failure takes down more people than success. Success takes down more people than failure does. Because when you get somewhere, you know, you start getting these ideas, you know. It's weird, you know, doing art. But I think that for artists, the whole pandemic thing has been good because distractions are gone, you know.
Exactly.
And it kind of makes you really, and you have an outlet. You're lucky that you can stimulate your own mind, like, you know how to keep yourself stimulated. Everybody else has to work out and do cooking shows.
I tried the workout one.
You're working out too. We're working out too.
I tried that one.
Abs are for losers. That's my stuff.
I tried that for a little bit. I was like baking and trying to do all these things. But again, it just goes back to what the influence is, right? And for me, it was just like, what is everyone doing online? Like, what is trending right now? What should I do? Which is just like constantly, I was like confronted by that because I was out and I was with different people, and people would tell me, oh, you should try this, you should try this. And so it was never really like, should I try this? Is this something that I want to do? So I feel like 2020, even though there was a lot of misfortunate events, like there was a good growing period for a lot of us, especially for artists. You know, you don't really have excuses now. And
you know, I was really because I got a lot of like, because, you know, this whole thing is Salvis supporting Salvis, right? So I really love the president in El Salvador right now, you know. I remember that it came across, he's coming to Canada, you know, like I know a lot of Middle Eastern people here that I know, you know, Palestinians, Lebanese, and people like that. And then I discovered late, like I'm talking like last year, I discovered that how much presence of Palestinians in El Salvador. Down there they call them Turcos in El Salvador. But you know, like El Presidente now, he's the Palestinian Salvadorians, you know?
That was a big moment for El Salvador,
during the civil, like the human rights fight, you know? It was Shafiq Handal. That doesn't sound Spanish, does it?
No, that was
he ignited the whole stand up for our rights movement. No, it was another Palestinian, you know, from El Salvador. So there's in El Salvador, I remember like when the president went online and he was telling everybody like, look, everybody, your bills are covered. He did that. You know what I mean? Like cover your bills,
Yeah.
freeze rent. Like he spoke to the wealthy. He said, "Come on, man, you guys are so rich. You're never gonna run out of your money, man. Like what is it to you to hold it? Like, don't charge people for like 3-4 months so that everybody's fine staying in, and we get through this shit because there wasn't a lot of cases down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like, you know, the Salvis, there's a lot of history that even at my stage right now that I'm continuing to learn about El Salvador. I didn't know there was such a huge presence of Palestinians in El Salvador. You know what I mean? And then, yes, and then a lot of Salvis kind of looking a little Middle Eastern out there. Huh?
A little mixed.
Are you one of them?
No. No, it's crazy that because El Salvador was very, like, we have that type of attention, you know, that people think that, you know, like MS-13, like just like all the negative things. So for when that president was elected and he came in and he was completely different, and he's like, the corruption stops now. And I saw this video of him while I was on the I saw it on Instagram or something. He posted a video saying, like, you know, when the COVID happened, they had a fund, like income, that they were going to use specifically for that. And he said, anybody that personally touches this for any other reason than what it's intended for, I will personally come to that person.
They'll persecute.
So, like, for
a
president to say something that major.
And you know what's also hard for him is like, so look at the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau, right? So Trudeau, he looks like a young guy, you know what I mean? Like, there are nations like the United States, man, like Trump kind of wants to bully him around. He looks like a pretty boy, young, like you could push me over because he looks young. El presidente de El Salvador, see how he looks young?
Yeah.
Don't mess with him, you know? Like the fact that he looks young is no pushover. Extremely, I probably one of the guys that I've been the most fan of, because looking young, you know, a lot of people don't realize my age. Like I'm an OG, an old guy, but I look young, you know. And when people take years off of you, kind of takes in El Salvador, the fact that he looks so young, but he commands respect. Like it's you know, he's a leader. He's a leader, you know. And it's been good for that, you know. I know a few of my people that are stuck down there. And things like that. But anyways, what's new with you? What's up with you? I've seen you doing interviews out there, making videos out there. I love what you're doing. I love your movement. And you know, when you asked me to be a part of it, you know, I'm like, I watch, you know, you came across, like, you know, people take a long time to pay attention, but we don't do it for attention, you know. We're trying to build something, and I love what you're building, you know. And then when you invited me into it, you know, I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta be a part of this too, you know. And thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you so much.
Any questions you wanna have? I don't know what you know, but maybe I think we're meeting each other for the first time here, but you know, there's been a background, you know, in terms of, we're from Toronto, you know, and and it's like, you know, I'm Salvadorian, but I always tell my American friends, you know, like when I've been in LA, you know, and I've been around the Salvis out there, you know, over here it's like, you know, your Latino friend in Toronto, is from, like, you know, 12 different flags. You know?
For
like
sure.
My black friend is from like 8 different flags, you know. My Asian friend is from like 9 different flags. Like, it's different out here, you know what I mean? So it's like we have our little pockets of Latinos, which there's not enough of us over here, you know. And so then on top of that, we gotta break it down to all the 22 flags, you know.
No, it's crazy that you say that, because like when I started this, so you know, I've been, like, you know, pretty low. I started deciding, like, okay, this is something that I want to pursue, and this is something, like, you know, like you said, like, it was a talent, it was an art that I had kept to myself. And there
Yeah.
came a moment where I was like, no, I'm ready. Like, I want to share what I have here.
Yeah.
And when I started to announce that I was from El Salvador, I was like, where is that from? Like, where is that? And it's always been something that, you know, I've grown up with. It's always been, where is El
It's
Salvador?
like
It's not
you
common.
find that like we're famous for the wrong things, you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and the most famous thing, and I used to complain about that in Toronto. So like in LA, you know, they got the El Dia de El Salvadoreño. So I'm like, okay, here's a festival celebrating a los salvadoreños.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Toronto, we had the Pupusa festival, right? Which is fine. But
Yeah.
it seems like La Pupusa is the most positive thing I hear about us,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, holy fuck, we celebrating La Pupusas before.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're more famous. They're like the one positive famous thing.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
Las pupusas son más famosas than us ourselves and our cultures, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
For sure.
of that war background, you know.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
then I'm kind of bored of hearing the background story
Yeah.
of us and the war, and like it's been
100%.
told a million times. You get me? So
Yeah.
I
And
get it. It
yeah.
came from there and all that, you
Mhm.
know. But I feel like, you know, something like what you're doing, that, you know, I see on your profile, you show the Salvadorians in the light of the arts, the entertainment, the politicians. Like, you know, we
Yeah.
in there, we out there,
Yeah.
deep in the numbers in the United States too, right?
Mhm.
So there's a movement, but it's just to take away that whole the bad fame.
Yeah.
We're
Exactly.
famous
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
You know, war ruins countries. You know, so I get that. A lot came out of that, but they really went in on El Salvador. Like they fucking painted us with that brush. That
Yeah.
it's like everything is gang, you know, and so on, right? So that's been difficult to shake off the stigma around that, you know. So when you wave the flag, you know, like right there, you're there dancing, you're rocking that.
The
Yes, you're
jersey,
rocking
the
that
Salvador jersey.
selecta
Yeah.
over there. You like soccer? That's your team.
Well, my family likes soccer. Yeah, my family grew up watching soccer. Yeah.
You guys get all the face white like Braveheart, you know, like
yeah. My family's pretty
paint
intense.
the whole thing up.
Yeah, when El Salvador came for to play the TFC game here, they played. My whole family was there, so it was it's a big moment. It's just like connecting with
They came down here to play.
Yeah, they were here. I think it was like 2-3 years ago. Yeah.
Holy damn, man! Was it like all blue and white, like in
Toronto,
Toronto,
it was
and like the
full
whole?
Salvi, and then you saw all the Salvis coming out, and I guess
And
it's
who
just
were they
like moments
playing?
like
Who
that.
were they playing?
Like, it's not. I'm not sure. I didn't go to the game, but my family went. But they played at the TFC. But
gotcha.
Yeah, the
I
Toronto.
missed that one.
Yeah, so it was a pretty big event. My dad's like a big fan, so my dad had to go.
Yeah.
So
And you from Scarborough, huh?
Yeah, Scarborough, yeah.
The East, East. See, people, like, for all the Americans watching here, it's like Toronto's got this West Side, East Side thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then we always say, like, you know, like Scarborough teens, like it's
Scarborough
like
teens. Oh my God, I know.
Scarborough is you know, Scarborough's got a bad reputation, huh?
Yeah, Scarborough, it's just, I don't know, like there's good and bad to it. Like I don't know, like there's obviously like a completely diverse group of people here, which makes things interesting. Like, you know, it's so cool to see. Like, you'll go here and you'll see, you know, completely different races like all in one table, and it's just like it's a big, you know, congratulations.
It's crazy. It's like if you're from the West, it's like I'm from the West, right? Like once I get up to like the Danforth, like Greenwood, like you go in those ways, it's like, okay, Victoria Park, you've gone too far east. It just feels different, you know. It's so weird how that is, because it's Toronto's Toronto, but you know, we gotta remember that our city in North America is the fourth largest. Like Miami is not bigger than Toronto. You know what I mean? Like we fourth up there. Like that's a big city. So there's so many sides, you know.
There's so many people like from Toronto, but then there are those people that are like from Brampton and say they're from Toronto, which I don't think they really count.
But Scarborough's Brampton. Scarborough is like, you guys are Scarborough all day,
Yeah, Scarborough has just, I don't know, it's just like certain things that people say or do, and you're just like, oh, it's just like only in Scarborough. But it's crazy, like when you go to the West End.
You've always been out there, like your family.
We've always been
you
out
went to high school out there.
Yeah, everything in
How
Scarborough. Yeah.
old are you, Melly?
24.
You're 24, right? So
Mhm.
you went to a high school out there in Scarborough,
Yeah,
everything. Were
everything.
you made in
Yeah.
Canada?
I was born in Canada. Yeah. My
Yeah,
parents came from
gotcha.
El Salvador. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome that you're representing out here, though, you know?
yeah. Yeah,
How's
no,
the
it's
music
a big
going with
part.
you?
It's an honor for me, right? Because I
Yeah,
feel like that was something that my parents were very strict about. They
yeah,
wanted me to have that part of me. Like they never wanted us to come, like they wanted us to come here, and explore Canada and become, and immerse in the language and all of that. But they never really wanted to, like, de donde saliste? Like, when I
yeah,
try to get like too over my head, like I can't do that. Why would I do that? My parents are just like, where'd you come from? Like take
yeah,
a moment and think about where our families come from,
yeah,
where the struggle. So that's always been a part of me. It's always been something that kind of motivates me. And it just, like, when people think like you need all these things and like just to prove yourself, like my
yeah,
parents have always been like, humble yourself, like
yeah.
it's a lot from where we're coming from, you should appreciate everything that you have. So that is something that is a really big
I think that that's what
of
like
everything.
something
Yeah.
like the struggle brings that out of people like that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
simple simplicity, simplify it,
Simplicity, yeah, for sure.
simplicity. Be proud with who you are.
Yeah,
Don't pretend that like.
yeah,
I
yeah,
get it. It's like for a long time. It's like I see. In the United States
yeah.
is where I first, because immigrating out here,
Hmm.
you seen the Puerto Rican flag. They raise it up. And there's so
Yeah,
many
yeah,
artists in
yeah,
entertainment that
yeah,
rep that flag, right?
yeah,
The
yeah,
Mexican flag's another one, and then the Cuban flag are all big American flags. Those three. There's
yeah,
22 flags in all of Latin America, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
we wave the flag. We're very patriotic,
Hmm.
Salvadoran. But
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we wave the flag, there's like this like huge thing that comes with it. There's like a energy,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
somebody like I've seen things like Mark Anthony like take the Salvadoran flag and wrap himself while he's singing. I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
Tego Calderon roll up with like a El Salvador jersey.
yeah,
I've seen Snoop try to talk Mexican, Salvadoran slang. I've
yeah,
seen,
yeah.
in that movie, I loved it. They were asking, it was Brad Pitt, it was like all those guys, and they were going like, it was that movie, that Quentin
Mhm.
Tarantino movie about Hollywood. And then
Yeah,
they were asking like, hey, about food. So, Brad Pitt starts like, hey man, like, the tacos, like,
yeah.
tacos is like Mexican. And then you see Leonardo DiCaprio is like,
Oh,
I'm a pupusa man
yeah,
myself. And
yeah,
then
yeah. I
everybody
know
was
that.
like,
Yeah.
whoa, there's something that people
Mhm.
don't usually say.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
Leonardo, like
Yeah, yeah.
they know about Salvadorian,
Yeah,
um, Salvadorians in the United States. I think,
yeah.
that's what came from the war.
Yeah, yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
all bad.
Mhm.
It brought a lot of us
Mhm.
um, to North America, and I think that Salvadorans overall,
Mhm.
we've done a lot.
Yeah.
I see a lot of progress.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
see a lot of. I run into the
Mhm.
Salvies in little pockets handling things like video directing and doing
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things that we don't see on the
On
mainstream.
the mainstream. Yeah, yeah,
Like I
exactly.
rap, I'm on the front page of it, but
Mhm.
in the background of it, there's engineers and managers, and there's like
Yeah.
producers and things that we don't even got a clue like who's
Mhm.
Salvadoran out there. Like the guy that's mixing Snoop's album right now is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Salvadoran,
Sure.
they say, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
there's all these other little things, and every time
Mhm.
it brings me pride because, you know, I wish I knew that like Big Pun was Salvadoran, and I would have been very
Mhm.
proud too, right?
Mhm.
But I've
Mhm.
always all the Latinos that I've heard were always like Puerto Rican
Puerto Rican. Yeah.
or mostly Puerto Rican. I'm a very big fan of
Mhm.
the Puerto
Yeah,
Rican contribution to hip hop as Latinos, right? So
yeah, yeah.
I joined that shit. I was
Mhm.
breakdancing, I was graffitiing, I
Mhm.
was,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, more East Coast
Mhm.
influence is more my thing. But
Yeah,
when I
exactly.
do my own art, it's very appealing to the West. So people think I'm like real
Yeah.
West, like I look like that and
Yeah,
I vibe
yeah.
like that, but like like all my influences came from that East,
Yeah, yeah.
East Coast hip hop. I was
Mhm.
bumping Nas and I was bumping mostly like there wasn't Latinos doing it when I
Yeah, yeah.
came out
Yeah,
hearing it.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
my source of pride as a Latino were coming from Puerto Ricans. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I rate that contribution because like,
Yeah, yeah.
but when I started seeing like, you know, me doing it,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, there's Salvis do it too, man. You know, and like we're trying to like be in there. And when somebody asks me where you from, and I say El Salvador, I just feel like it fills my heart. You know, I'm like,
it's a great feeling. Yeah.
I feel it, you know, and I'm proud, and I represent, you know, and but I'm with everybody, you know what I mean? I'm with everybody. Español, inglés, tatuajes, yo hago tatuajes, yo dibujo. Yo soy un amigo de muchos artistas, de otros artistas que yo los apoyo en Colombia, en los Estados Unidos, en Chile. O sea, he andado adentro de la cosa, ¿no? Y gracias a Dios, esa ha sido mi vida en el arte. Y a mí me gustaría decir a la gente de que se exprese. It's like, express yourself. Like I believe everybody's an artist, you know. I think that everybody should find a creative outlet to do something for no reason at all, you know. Just because, you know. Like that's how I got good at drawing. I didn't know that would turn into tattooing. I didn't know that loving listening to hip hop would turn into me writing hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, and we're bilingual, so I got 2 languages to play with too. Right?
That's true
too. All of that, you know. I hear you sprinkle the Spanish in your songs too.
I do, right? I do,
You know, but you know, I feel like that. You know, I feel very, very, very happy with like I'm seeing new names coming up. You know, younger names like you young bucks is like stepping to the plate right now, huh? Hey, shout out to Mr. Pelon.
Oh yeah, that was
shout out to
fun.
Cook Estilo. Shout out to Galeano. Shout out to Bajo Mundo, Los Reyes del Bajo Mundo, Conflicto Armado, Pescosada, Omnión. Like we out here, you know what I mean? And we're together, and I love that you're putting us together. I support your stuff.
Because I find that like El Salvador, we take pride as, you know, we're Latinos, but I think it's time for us to branch out and be Salvadorians, you know, like because, you know, if you ask someone who's from Puerto Rico, be like, hey, where are you from? It's like, oh, I'm Spanish. It'll never be like I can speak for myself. So that was just like a motivating factor for me too, because when people would ask me where are you from, like I got so tired of the, oh yeah, it's in Central America, like it's not that big, like it's small, and then they would like look it up and be like, oh, like I think I've heard of this, but like it's always kind of that negative type of, oh, I heard about this. So for me, it was just, I'm Spanish. So now it's a moment, and it's a great feeling to branch out of just being I'm Latino or I'm a Latina and be like own who you are. And a lot of the part that you are and the reason that you do the things that you do and believe in what you do comes a lot from that.
It's crazy because I never thought that I would come across with that, you know. But I've come across like, you know, a Salvadoran lying to me that he's Puerto Rican, you get me? Because it's not cool to be Salvi. Entonces, si digamos yo hago una entrevista y empiezo yo que ya tú sabes y que no con ese acento como que yo soy dominicano, caribeño o latino, y no lo soy, pero porque todos los artistas that are prominent hablan así, entonces vas a venir vos y vas a empezar a hablar que ya tú sabes y que no sé qué, porque eso es the cool Spanish accent to have, because it's not cool to talk like how we talk, right? It comes from an identity crisis within. De que un latino mintiendo de que es de otra raza hispana, no de la de que son, porque it's not sexy to be Salvadorian, so you gotta be Colombiana or like, what can you be sexy being Salvadorian? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
it's
totally
like,
get what you mean, because even in the novelas and everything, it's all just like,
llegó la cerveza, me estoy muriendo de la sed, yo. Thank you for bringing the.
No problem.
Llegó la leche, la vitamina.
Now you just need the limon. You're missing the limoncito.
El limoncito era para, dicen que el limón se lo ponían para que las moscas no lleguen, para taparlo.
Oh, that sounds like
dicen que no tiene nada que ver con nada de que el limoncito cambia la cerveza. You think it does?
I don't know. That's probably just one of those
That's
tales.
I'd rather do a michelada.
That's like a Big Papuru type of story. The Big Papuru will solve everything. The limón
Right?
will solve everything.
Si le vamos a echar limoncito, mejor denme una michelada.
That's so funny. But yeah, no. Let's talk about your music. Like, how did you become to write? Because what you say some pretty deep, some powerful things, right? Like, you talk about your motivation. You talk about, you know, how like your life, and you can just feel that type of, you know, there's power behind what you write. So tell us a little bit about that.
So it's like, you know, the whole me touching on a lot of stuff like that. It started because with me, it started. I started my rap thing performing. Okay, so I would rap to other people's beats, and I would just write rhymes. But I never recorded. I had never recorded a thing when I was jumping on a stage performing. So my whole rap thing started like with me performing first with my first steps. Right?
That's crazy.
Not
That's
recording.
Like
I had jumped on stage a bunch of times before I ever even set foot in a studio to record, right? Yeah. And then I'm not gonna lie, you know, and I gotta give shout outs to William De Niro. He's somebody that really was already making music. He was recording in the studio. He was producing. Yeah. He's Argentino and Guatemalteco. Yeah. And then that's how Cold Blue would come to be. It's me and him met, you know, and and then his beats, like I was just hooked on his beats. Like me, I'm a beat. Like back in the days of cassette tapes, I would record beats. I just had a whole cassette tape just full of beats without the rapper on it, and I would just love beats. I'm a fan, a huge fan of production, you know. But the beats, I'm like, what's this fascination with beats? I couldn't make you a beat if my life depended on it. Like, you could be like, make a beat right now, and I'd be like, it's my life that day, you know?
I don't know, maybe like, we could start with like, starting like
not
that.
Me, like, but I can hear it. I got the ear for it, and then the beats always drove me to write, right? So in that group, we're pretty like, you know, your typical like Latin thug was our style, you know, like we had a lot of Latino, like we would jump on a stage with like 30 men, you know what I mean? Like Nicaragüenses, Salvadoreños, de Rexdale, de Scarborough, creían que éramos pandilla nosotros, ¿no? Porque nosotros llegábamos con flyers y éramos varios, y en Toronto así llegamos a todos los festivales, nos íbamos a meter. Y llegábamos caravana de 8 carros y llegamos a Canada's Wonderland, a Latin Fest y nos metíamos.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Y había mucho pandillerismo, había muchas cosas que vos sabés, te vas a meter. Ya no me imagino cuántos pleitos hay allá en Los Ángeles, en MacArthur, cuando hacen celebran el Día del Salvadoreño. Dicen que esa cosa se llena como 60,000 personas, no sé cuánto dicen que se llena, la gente viaja, pero nosotros andábamos así, en la calle, íbamos a todas las discotecas latinas, íbamos a Latin Fever, esta es historia de Toronto, ¿ves? Con lo que no éramos todos salvadoreños, éramos hispanos todos, pero mezclados, pero digamos, un miembro era nicaragüense, el otro es mitad guatemalteco y yo salvadoreño. Y yo hacía todos los graphics porque yo venía de eso, yo venía de grafitear y yo hacía todo el arte para el grupo, los logos, yo diseñaba todo y le daba presencia al grupo. Entonces la gente decía, hey, el man que dibuja, porque yo dibujaba los covers de los álbumes, entonces yo era conocido por dibujar y por mi arte también, entonces lo metía en la música. Pero cuando yo empezaba a rapear en el grupo, éramos 3, pero siempre que yo entraba, la gente sentía como un sentido de revolución en mí, como una lírica rebelde, una lírica tal vez contra sistema, o era bastante guerrillero yo con las líricas. Bien...
That's the sound of blood.
No sé, me sale a mí esa revolución, ¿verdad? Pero la revolución no es la revolución armada, sino que es una revolución del alma. De que hay que ser real, no hay que ser falso, no hay que las apariencias y nunca fui fanático del materialismo. Me vale verga, yo he tenido buena ropa y la arruino y me mancho. No me importa, se me han perdido unas gorras buenas que no, no me importa, o sea, yo siempre he sido así, que feliz con poco y mi lírica yo siempre la he escrito básica en el sentido que alguien que no necesariamente tiene que estudiar o leer para entender, pero el alma lo toca, digamos que si yo y vos hacemos una canción, digamos si vos y yo platicamos y platicamos de el sentimiento de estar triste, ¿ok? Sí. Ahora, lo que a vos te hace triste y lo que a mí me hace triste son dos cosas diferentes. Sí. Pero la tristeza que sentimos, si nosotros platicamos de eso, tenemos algo en común. Nosotros se siente triste para vos y los detalles no nos vamos a entender porque vos estás llorando por una cosa y yo por la otra. Pero la tristeza, ahí está entonces yo siempre he escrito para llegar ahí, no en los detalles. Porque no todos se relacionan con eso. Not everybody relates to what you're saying, right? So I would just, write from the perspective where I'm touching on the feeling of the story. And I think that's when I started noticing a lot of people connected to that, because if I'm transparent and I write about what I really feel, guess what? I'm not the only one that feels that way. Like when you're really, really transparent and really share that, and then as an artist, you have to share that. Like people don't understand like how much courage it takes to be vulnerable enough that you just share what you feel, what you really feel. You're really putting yourself up there, to share it, right? And I've always had that style. I have it with quotes, like on my profile. I'm always sending out quotes. To really reinforce that, because I just really, my message overall, whether it's tattooing or rapping, the overall message is that, like, I would love if everybody would embrace the idea that they are artists at or creators. Like, we are creators. We create, and that's, you need a soul to create, and we all have one. But we just stuck here, we think this is doing all the work. And inside is like, if you really look in, it's something that's saying, bro, like, I'm not happy that you're just doing what you think everybody wants. But what do you want? And a lot of people don't have the courage to do that, and I've always had the courage to do that in my music. And it sucks because it's like I get away with it, and people enjoy it from me. Meanwhile, there's a lot of people that want to say the same thing or have tried, and they don't embrace them because they're faced with opposition. But I'm allowed to say it because I'm an artist. I have this special privilege to do that, and say it while everybody else that feels just like me doesn't have, because they're not artists or because they're not Drake. They can't have any impact. Exactly. Meanwhile, this artist and that artist, like the artist telling you to do drugs doesn't even touch drugs. No. Know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about, it looks like this, but it's that way, right? So
how you paint the picture for those 2 moments, like those 2 minutes that you have that someone's listening to your music, that's that's the takeaway, and that's the type of people that you want to connect with. And sometimes you could write a whole song, but you just have one line that you hear in a song and it touches you. You're just like that.
Or a book, that
and
book.
Now suddenly that whole song is there for you, when in the beginning you're like, I don't really like it. Like, but a lot of times we don't like certain things is because it forces you to deal with some type of emotion, or like if you hear like a song.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'll tell you right now, like if I'm suffering over, like, a girl left me and I'm sad about her, I ain't bumping no bachata.
I know.
Like
Exactly.
I'm playing some hardcore rap. Forget about it.
Exactly.
But, so you know what I'm saying? Like it puts you in. Hay gente que they sink themselves into the pain, like escuchando esa música de, like, where you got cheated on and then to feel it. But I hear what you say, and it's like it really triggers emotion, right? So I think that the true music isn't one-sided. It's
No, never.
multidimensional.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
It's the whole spectrum of emotions, you know, like
For
from
sure.
angry to like you make them feel happy. You go like you could deliver a performance where it's like, you know, like, you know, that movie Blow, like the actress Penelope Cruz.
Yeah, she's so pretty.
I hated her forever after that. She did such
Yeah.
a good job playing. Like, I'm like, I hate this
Yeah.
girl. I even hate the actress after. She killed it that good.
Yeah, she's good in that movie. Yeah, that's a good movie. If no one's watched it, you definitely need to watch that. That's an amazing movie.
Yeah, that's like a
That's a
based
classic.
on a true story. But you know, like sometimes it's like when somebody delivers that it's like you're that guy. You know, like some of my favorite MCs come from different walks. Like I'm not wide open, but hip hop for sure. Like I've listened to the black rappers and I learned from them. The lyrical giants too. I've seen the new guys come into the underground guys to the mainstream guys. You know, I've come across like my favorites in the Latino genre for sure. You know, like you know, like I was a fan of like the Terror Squad. Because I just seen Puerto Ricans come together like in a clique. Like it's like they were all like it's like 10 Puerto Ricans are gonna come and spit rap and they're all gonna be nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they did that shit. So I always felt like I never liked to be alone. Like
you like to be a part of something.
I always want other artists around me. Like it's like I want to you know, do when I was in Cold Blue, I was invited into a lot of tracks. So I had a really high track record of being the guy that if I like the beat, I'm writing a verse and I'm gonna send it to you, and then I'm in your song. You know, like I don't go on too snobby about that. It's just that I gotta focus on my material right now.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a lot of artists wanna, hey, do a song with me and do a song with me, and they don't have their structure set up either, or they're not as evolved as I am at this point.
Yeah.
So like I'll send, if we have that relationship, I'll do a track with you because we have that relationship. But a stranger, I don't know if I want to associate with you and do music with you if I don't know nothing about you. Let me go explore. Send me some links. Invite me to a show. Like build. Maybe we could build. And if it doesn't click, why are we gonna do a song?
No, and I think that's an important message that, you know. Like if we do have any artists here that are looking to collab, and you know, you do have it, like everyone has a dream collab, but just how you go about getting that collab is just not like, hey, you know, let's just do a collab. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's because a lot of people, if you send a message like that, it's not, you're just going for my name. You're just going for, you know, what I've done in the past, but you're not looking. Like, we don't have any common grounds, you know? Like, if you start the conversation, like, hey, like, let's get to know each other. I've listened to this, and I feel I can do this for you. You know, it's just, like, that's literally what a collaboration is. And I think a lot of the times, especially, and it comes off as, like, disrespectful almost. Because you constantly, or maybe you're saying no.
It's even either accessing your numbers is an interest, not necessarily being a fan of your music, right? Exactly, it's just like... it's very business
oriented,
rather than the artist. You know what I mean? And it's like, have you noticed that, you know, when you have an album and it's your first project, right? It's like your first way into the market, and then you come in and you see that it's all collabos, man. Like, you're making a statement that you can't roll solo. Like, you don't have enough strength on your own. I love those artists that, like, you know, they're huge. They could get a verse from Jay-Z if they want to, you know. They could get a verse from Kendrick if they want to, you know. And their album had no collaborations because it's a statement to say that, like, you know, there is your name and there is what you're building. So a lot of artists are quick to build and do a track with you, and like, yo, send me a track. And like, you know, I've known Mr. Pelon's put me on. Like, Mr. Pelon has always supported me heavy, right? So you know, he enjoys how I do it, you know, how I rap, which is I'm flattered because he's built quite a thing for himself, you know. And me sitting here, like, we don't have access to the Salvadorians like these guys do out in the States. Like I went to Brentwood, New York, like for a Salvadoran festival. Like they got numbers. Let me tell you, we got numbers down there.
Yeah.
And Pelon will be like, yeah, bro, Cook Estilo's doing a track about Salvis. You're nasty with it. Wink, wink, heads up. Write some shit. Send it. I'll send it to them.
Yeah.
Because I think you gotta just heads up, you know? And I do my thing and boom, I'm in the song, you know what I mean? Like, he does shit like that for me, you know? You go to El Salvador, call Pescosada in El Salvador. Go to la Radio Corporación. Allá en El Escalón, they run like 6 radio stations. It's an official movement of radio stations. You know, owned by La Familia Saca, who's like, you know, like Arena, like it's this shit. You know what I mean? There's multimillionaires out there for politics. They own shit, and he's like, yo, go there. Tell them I send and boom. Next thing you know, I'm getting interviewed over there. You know, like that. So he's done that kind of thing. I've known him forever. We've never done a track ever. You know, and then now, years later, boom, something. He's like, hey, man, write to this track. You know? And then I just sent it right now, and then we'll see how that turns out. But,
that would be a sick
you know, a lot of time passed.
He
helped me out a bunch of times, but like, you know, I'm on this one track right now. And time passed, you know, it's not like el que anda pidiendo que pide mucho, no se trata de eso, ¿me entendés? Mucha gente que, hey, hagamos viejo, hagamos una track. Yo no ando muy interesado en hacer música con todos porque yo tengo mucho material que hacer. And then I'm tattooing. So it's like, you know, I only got 24 hours in the day like everybody, but I'm not happy with what I'm doing with the 24 hours all the time. I feel like I could do more, you know?
But that's a part of being motivated, right? Like you may look at that as a bad thing, but that's also a good thing because you know that you can do more. You know that
I know I could do more. I know I could do more. And then, you know, I'm writing, I'm tattooing, I'm designing. I'm like, every single day I live the artist life, you know? And who's paying me to go to the studio and record? But like, God bless that I have, you know, those producers. I have artist friends that are like, you know, very talented people, you know, and they have me too, you know, so I'm inking them, they're producing for me, or like, you know, I got an art gang, you know what I mean? And the boys are like sharp with it, you know, they got like katanas, we slice in half, we sharpen our tools, very, we have the privilege of longevity, which we've been in the game, you know what I mean? We have had a lot more years to sharpen our katana than a lot of the younger cats, but you know, I'm not the older guy that is gonna sit up on a shelf and collect dust. I'm gonna get better. I get better with age. And it's just you know, that's just been my thing always. I always get better with age because I'm never enough, you know. I'm always so hard on myself. I gotta pat myself on the back one of these days.
No, we are. It's true. Like we're our worst critics. Like even, you know, anything that you write, anything that you do, like it's always, you always pick yourself first. It's like you against you, right? So it's you coming out of that mindset and really talking to yourself and training yourself to, you know, accomplish more. But I like in saying, like a lot of people that say like, well, I feel like I'm not doing enough. They look at that as a negative thing. But I think knowing that and realizing that it's us, like, because a lot of people get complacent and, you know, they're like, this is all I can do. Like, this is it for me. So, you know, keep pushing and keep working. Is
my thing is like, you know, there's always those writer's blocks, you know, like there's always that writer, like where you're like, fuck, it's not coming out, you know, it's not, everybody has it, but I'll sit down and I'll give it a shot. You always honor your time with your art and nothing came. Like I sit down to write, I'm like, nothing came, you know. But I sit down to write, you know. I'll still spend that time, you know. Give me a quick second. I'm gonna get myself another beer.
Okay.
Give me a quick second, okay? No wait.
What are you guys saying? Our song was fire.
Ok, de regreso. Y
It's Corona time.
y vos con tu música, ¿cuánto tiempo tenés ya de hacer tu música?
So my story is actually a little, it's fun. It's interesting to tell. So when I was younger, that's why when you made that comment about how you went on stage first before you started like going to the studio, that to me is like mind blowing, because for me it was me writing, I guess like my home studio, like in my bedroom, like me writing and being
So
able
you were already making songs, like putting together.
but like I was like, I didn't have like a setup or anything. Like it was just always like in my head. It was on my books, but like nobody really knew. But my mom, she put me in singing lessons when I was younger, and it was something that I did until I was like about 17. And it was something that I kept very private. It was something that I was like, my mom's making me go here. Like it's not my thing. Like I'm not going to share this with people. So a lot of people didn't know that I made music, and so I've been, singing, and music has always been a part of my life. And I started writing about 2 years ago, but it was never until I felt that I was confident enough to be, share what I had, because it just comes down to that mindset. Like I was like, are people going to take this to share it? Are people going to take it? Like I was just so scared of being judged and just being someone that like, maybe I can't do this. So it's that self-doubt that thankfully, and I prayed about it, and I was able to finally feel comfortable enough to share with people. So that's how I started writing the music. And then so now it's been officially about a year, and very excited to see how it can
That's
go.
amazing, because it's like, people don't understand, like, they say that like more than death, people fear standing in like front of a group of people. Like it's like share with the group, and then and they pick you, and you're like, you get you get those like performing, like it's like that. Like I used to jump on stage, like, and then we kind of set it up in a way where like we were headlining shows in Toronto, right? So we're last. So I'm like, okay, there's like 4 groups going before we go. So I'm like, good, like, it's not our turn yet, And then trust me, and I'm like, shit, like we're up next, bro. We're up we're up next. It's like a tequila shot, and like invite, and I've gone on stage. I went on stage lit one time and fucking it all up,
Oh, like, no.
Like I'm like, I'm like, drink a little bit too much, because the nerves, like
it's scary,
los nervios and nerviosismo really, really sets in, and it's just like it loosens you up, right? And then there was one time that we went out to New York now, and then this is like a rap conference, so this is like everybody's there. Like if you're like Latin rap, like they're all there. Joel Ortiz, we talking Immortal Tech, we talking Tony Touch, Angie Martinez, the Beatnuts, Psycho Realm is there. Like they're all there, okay? And we're next. And then the people watching the show are all these guys. So if we suck, this is the time to find out. And it's just a lot. It's a lot, and it's in the States now. And then, because we realize that this is an old statistic, but old statistic. There was 80 million Latinos in the States. And then here in Toronto, which probably houses the majority of Latino numbers, it's nothing significant. It dwarfs compared to what they're dealing with in Texas, in that down there, what I mean? But being from Toronto, I did come from the Latino community, you know, like that's what they know us. That's where like I was just chilling with all the Spanish, that's what my root is, right? And down here, and then he you know has to get crowd participation, and you gotta scream, you gotta, number one in Toronto, you gotta be, where's my Ecuadorians at? Roar, you hear the roar. Then you gotta say, where's my Salvadorians at? And then you're gonna hear the roar, and the newest big number, Colombians. You hear the roar, and then it's a bunch of a little bit of everything. But you know, if that was New York now, you know, you're gonna have to shout out, where's my Puerto Ricans at first to hear the roar.
Everything.
If you're in Miami, you're gonna have to shout out, where's my Cubans at, you know? Y allá en los Estados, en Texas, y where's the Mexicans at? But you're not gonna shout out where the Mexicans at in Toronto. You're not gonna hear them louder than the Ecuadorians.
No, there's not a lot of
those are the numbers from Stats Canada. No, I'm making up the stats, but I know because I've been out there, you know. It's a lot of them. That's the majority. So I know that those are those flags, you know. And then you have your Chilenos here and little pockets of. But in Toronto, if you go, where's my Puerto Ricans at? You won't hear fucking crickets.
You
know what I mean? It's just like crickets.
No, because even when I went to, J Balvin came to like the ACC last year, and he started like calling out all the countries, and he said, where is the Colombians? And it was just like the whole stadium was screaming.
Oh,
and
there's a lot. Like they
he
came.
is from Colombia.
Mind you, Colombians are loud.
So it was just like and they just took over. Like he called everyone, and there was like a few Salvis, like a few Ecuadorians, few this, few that, barely any from Mexico. But once he said Colombia, it was just like,
it's that. It's like, because we got, you know, we have it rough. It's like, I mean, I know some Brazilians too, right? And the Brazilians, it's like, it's just one flag, you know. It's a lot of land, but it's the one flag. It's like we could be like, okay, we're from, you know, like it's like if we go and Salvis do this shit too, right? Salvis are like, we from El Salvador. It's like, yeah, that's like me. We're in El Salvador. And then I'm like, San Miguel. Y de qué colonia? And then I'm like, fuck, bro, you want DNA? Like, I'm Salvadorian, all right? Like, you want my blood test? Like, I'm Salvadorian, trust me. It's like the levels and prove it. I'm like, how many pupusas do I gotta eat a week to be Salvadorian? You know what I mean? Like, Salvi's got that shit too, right? Like, you're not Salvadorian enough, you know?
Exactly, and I
so
think
it's like, you're really Salvadorian. You don't fucking, you've never drank TikTok, you know?
It's like, you don't know what this is, you don't know what that is. Like, how Salvi are you? Which I think, you know, like, obviously, you know, there's levels to, you know, where you're from and all of that, but it's just, it's a Salvador thing, because even from you say from your, like, like, it always has to be, like, categorized. Like, you need to kind of justify, like, are you this, are you that? Which I think, like, as a Latino community, I'm not sure why we're like that. Because, you know, like, you see other countries, like other Spanish countries, and
they don't have that.
You're from Cuba, they're going to be like, oh, wow, you're Cubano. It's not like, where in Cuba? Like, this part, this part.
Y después dices aquí, ¿y de qué colonia? And I'm like, you want the coordinates, X, Y, like.
It's like, my house is like right here.
Mira, está a 45 grados hacia el sur del sol. Y like, fuck, no. I'm Salvadorian, okay?
It's like the sunrise is on this side.
I could fucking not eat a pupusa all year and be Salvadorian.
Exactly, But and it's just like, it is. Like, I don't know, I'm really not confused. Like, I'm very confused about it. And I've talked to my parents, because my parents, you know, they grew up there. And I asked them, I'm like, why is it like that? Why do we need to kind of label ourselves, like, to prove that we're Salvis, right? And it's just that type of, you know, the way that everyone kind of just thinks, like, in El Salvador, like, it's better, you know, we support other people more than we support ourselves. And
we do, you know. So and I think it has to do with the Civil War. It was Salvadoran against Salvadorian, right? So that mentality lingers around.
yeah. That
So
makes
it's
sense.
like we're used to fighting each other and being against each other. There were two sides fighting very violently
Yeah, it was a civil war
with each other. So I think that some of the hating stems from that down the road, where it's like, you know, if anybody's ever tried to fuck with my shit, it's been a Salvadorian, you know. So, a mí, varias veces un salvadoreños try to start with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No le caía bien y for no reason at all, you know?
Yeah. But I am curious though.
Idea,
I am curious, how did you get into like the tattoos and just knowing like in El Salvador that tattoos, like growing up, like no one in my family had tattoos and I was the first one to break the ice with.
What'd you get there? Let me see. What is it?
It was a crown for Melly Queen, and it was just, it's like a little crown.
Did you hide that for like how long? You got caught one time.
I had to hide it for a year. Like
one time you got caught slipping and your pop saw it. That's who you were hiding from, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Who were you hiding from? Your mom or your dad?
Like I grew up like that.
Yeah.
You know, so like for you, like how, like for you, like how was that moment? Like, you know, just because you're a tattoo
so
artist,
I'll tell you one weird thing about me, right? Is that my specialty with the tattooing is like I will ink your entire whole body up. Like you know, I got some guys that 80% of their body I'm through with the whole torso, the throat is done, the hands, the fingers are done. I'm halfway up the guy's leg, on the back, the whole, all the way around, everywhere, right? So that's my specialty. I'll bang out, like cover you. Ask me if I'm all linked up. I'm not. You know? Yo no estoy cubierto de tatuajes. Y yo me hice mis 3 tatuajes que tengo, me los hice cuando tenía 33 años de edad, porque yo iba a empezar a tatuar. Entonces se trataba de que yo tenía que aprender. Yo voy a estar apoyando a la gente, dándole el dolor y yo no sé cómo se siente. Tenía que tener la experiencia de cómo se siente. I have to experience it, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I went under the needle, and then I went under the needle, and then again, y nunca más después. So I have the tattoos there, but I'm not covered. But I will cover your body up is my style, and I'm not covered, you know? Because the idea with being a tattoo artist is that, you know, you're supposed to be covered. I don't look like a tattoo artist if I'm not completely covered, right?
Yeah, exactly,
But I got guys that are completely covered, and they can't draw for shit. So I know that being completely covered doesn't give you the gifts to draw.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't gotta be covered, you know?
Yeah.
Y allá también, si vos regresar a El Salvador, es like yo con mi pinta, con mi apariencia, y yo todo tatuado, fuck. No sé, yo tengo planes de andar allá. La gente, yo andaba allá en San Miguel, en el Cuco, en una playa. Y yo que no tengo tantos tatuajes, pero la gente es bien rara con los tatuajes allá. No les gusta.
Exactly, yeah.
O sea, te ven raro y te queda, imagínate que andas así todo y hay más, no sé, you don't think so?
No, not anymore. Yeah, it's funny because I was on a
Yeah,
it's different now.
Ha cambiado, dicen, aquí me están diciendo
No, because like to that point we had Racheton, he's an artist in Salvi artist in LA. And we talked about that. We talked about, you know, changing the stigma of El Salvador and how everyone's perceived. And he said that he recently went and all those. Yeah, everybody's like. Those ideas of like.
Okay. Pregunta, okay.
Yeah.
Pero, digamos que viene está un maje que. A white Salvi, okay?
Yeah.
Viaja a Miami, anda con su V-neck y musculoso, ¿sí?
Yeah.
And then he's got koi fish and a sleeve full of fucking koi fish and bullshit. you know, it's not gonna look like the thug shit. You know, I'm talking about the thug shit. Like if you go to El Salvador, you are tatted up like fucking Wiz Khalifa. You're not, you know, they're not like it's not gonna go over well.
Yeah.
They got koi fish and shit like that, and nice portraits, and you know. If you put the fucking la bandera con el escudo on your back, like you're I don't know, but you're a mess.
No, it's funny, yeah. That's why, like, even when I had this one, I have to.
You know what I mean? It's like you put el escudo, and the escudo is like the most dangerous looking thing.
Yeah.
On the whole back.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because like even something this small, it was like te arruinaste la vida, like that's.
Oh no, es que eso no es cultura, ya.
Yeah, like it's just like even with a tiny tattoo, yeah. It's just like it's that parent, like even my parents, like it's just that Salvi mentality. They're like, no, like
and it's a 3-point crown. Okay.
It was just like this hurt though. People are saying like it's so small, but this hurt. This was painful.
So you know that area, believe it or not, right there on the wrist, this area here, I feel like it's like the Achilles heel of the guys.
Painful.
So I've got guys that like I did the whole arm, the elbow, which is challenging under the arm, and then you get to here, and that's where the guys feel it, like right here. So it must, you know.
A lot of people
to tell you because it's like slitting your veins, you know. Some people like the pain. I gente que es masoquista, you know.
Yeah, I don't know, but this one, I was like, I got the one.
They find pleasure in being hurt. Yeah, no, that's con la música. I'm doing it. I'm getting invited into a lot of songs, you know. I'm selective with that, pero son gente que I have to have the relationship to drop on the track, you know.
Yeah.
Or if I see that, you know, por ejemplo aquí hay bastantes morenos que quieren un verso en español, you know. I'm interested in doing more of that, you know, where like cross out of the Latino genre and spit Spanish bars con alguien en inglés que no habla español, you know. No solo con los de habla hispana, ¿ves? Sino que llevar el español a donde otra gente. That's something that's been happening in my life, because you know I drop it in English and Spanish, but I got a project right now and it's called No Time, and it's this track, I got the video for it ready to go. It's just very special track with a message, and the video it was a lot of effort. The artist that did my video, it's nothing like everybody's seen before, you know. I'm changing it up with the video. This video is like you won't expect that, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of animation in it, you know. Like, the guy is a madman. The guy that made that video, I was blown away. Like I'm like, holy man, like what? This is what you did to what I said. He just made it about what's going on right now, and I didn't write this song while this was at all going on. And we shot the video before this went on, but you know, the guy is super special, so he can take however long he wants to do this, you know. And he did it. And he did.
That's insane.
I had a short bald fade when I shot it, and by the time the video was done, my hair grew, you know. So, but it's super special, you know, and it's called No Time. And then that's a message, and then I'm gonna go hard because, you know, we all complain about the mumble rappers, you know, that that don't say shit on the mic, the vanity rappers, the materialism rappers. This isn't a song about rap. This isn't even a song about me being a rapper. You know, we're like JC has that line. He says like, I'm not in the projects all day rapping about how I'm in the projects all day. Like it's bigger. Like, you know, it's like that's the other thing with the Salvi pride thing. It's like I'm not gonna dedicate a whole fucking album to saying I'm Salvadorian. You know what I'm saying? Like music is music. I happen to be from that race. Soy pero, y soy orgulloso, pero la música no se trata de una bandera o ser una raza, sino que se trata del alma humana y lo que estamos pasando. Entonces, yo siempre mi música va a ser universal. Soy salvadoreño, pero el tema es universal para gente de todo, the green guy, the purple, and the black, and the yellow, you know? No se trata de eso, sino que I'm always trying to touch get down to the core of the root of people. Because I'm trying to touch on that topic that we all have in common, right? Which is our feelings, like what we feel. If we talk about it, trust me, you're not the only one that feels that way.
Exactly, yeah.
If you're honest with the topic, you'll find out how many people relate to what you feel. But if you start kind of grinding, like, what do people want to hear? And I start making music around that, I'm manipulating, I'm perception manipulation, which is too much of that going on already. It's played out. People see through it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so old. It's not new. These repetitive images that I have money, I'm a gangster, esa música de malo, de que yo soy tan malo, que ya lo han dicho 1,000,000 de personas, han contado esa misma mierda, you know?
Especially
Entonces,
like
especially
you're
rap,
going
you
through
know what I
that,
mean?
right? Like,
es difícil para mí porque yo no quiero ser rapero ni tatuador. Yo lo que sí soy artista. Pero como le decía a la gente, yo soy artista. Punto. Me puedo expresar mañana se me antoja la gana de, I don't know, empezar a carve fucking bears out of wood. I don't know. I'll fucking do it, man. And, you know, es mi expresión and this is what I'm on. Se trata de expresarte y crear algo. Paint something, color something, cook something. I see the art in people. I see the creative side of people. And I just love, I support it. I want to tell them, bro, do it. I don't give a fuck. Scribble on that page, man. Write that thought down. You know what I mean? Paint that wall, decorate. Like some people got art the way they dress. It's like, holy shit, they look like $1 million without spending the budget. They just know how to dress well. I bought this shit at a thrift store. And the other thing I got over there, and you're like, bro, you look like video ready, you know? Some people are creative like that. And I think a lot of people are creative. Like, I couldn't fucking build a deck. Or if I fucking my life depended on it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
But I can draw like a motherfucker. So at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, that's what I want to do with my art. Is I don't want people to be like, put a red carpet in front of me like I'm so special because I found my calling.
Yeah, exactly.
Because trust me, just to get to that, my calling is I think we're all supposed to be doing that. So if you see that I found mine and I perfected it and I'm delivering a very polished version of it, it's because I've had the experience with it. But don't worship me. I'm just a man. Let it inspire you to find what that is. It's like, look, this guy loves what he does, and you can see it or you could hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Find that for yourself. What's that for you? I'd rather people be inspired by me doing it so that they could do it. And I honestly had it. Like, I was the guy that was at the party and we were all drinking, and I made it very comfortable for everybody to cipher and rap. Even guys that didn't rap were throwing a rap in, and I bring a beat, and like, yo, right, we all ciphered, and they talk shit, you know. They can't rap, but they felt comfortable doing it, and everybody had a good time, you know. Like, rather than like, hey, I gotta be a fucking super celebrity rapper, like, just do what you love, you know what I mean, and have fun with it. It's not that deep. It's not that like, esto así. Y por eso a mí, I'm not too good at the praise. Like, give me the praise or the attention. It's all nice, but at the end of the day, not at the cost of you worshiping another fucking human being. Find your calling, you know. You're an artist too. Find a way to express that, you know. That's my
I
message.
do think that it comes with, you know, when you do find your calling, it takes confidence to be, you know, I'm going to do this. And obviously when you are confident, people feel intimidated by it. And then it leads to people making those comments about you that, oh, that's not for you. So, you know, it is important to inspire people, and people need to learn. It ultimately comes down to the person. So everybody can do it. Everybody is capable of, you know, pursuing what they truly desire. Like, because everyone knows deep down, like, there's something that just hits you differently than something else. You know, like for you, it's one thing. For me, it's something else. And even though
Yeah.
people aren't open about it, it's about finding that security, that confidence, and just moving forward with it and getting it done.
We've been worshiping the stars for too fucking long.
Exactly.
And we have entertained their egos and blew it
Mm-hmm.
up to the point they've lost themselves,
Yeah.
and need our worship,
Yeah.
while they treat us like the little guys.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel that now people, you know, like, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I'm really good at Photoshop manipulation
Mm-hmm.
nowadays. You could just download an
Mm-hmm.
app, and
Yeah.
everybody, all those apps and the technology is helping
Yeah.
people find expression too. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
pretty crazy the shit that you can do on the apps, and it's amazing how creative people are being
Yeah.
using the technology too,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
So I'm not one that says that the technology is a bad thing. I think
Yeah.
that it assists the arts,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that, you know, hopefully, as the more technology kind of pushes forward, I
Mm-hmm.
hope that people, you know, really harness ways
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah.
express, you know,
Yeah.
themselves. It's that. It's
Mm-hmm.
express yourself,
Yeah.
and it's do it for no reason. Do it because you can and you want to and you love
Exactly.
to,
Yeah.
and then see what happens. Because I'll tell you, hobbies become careers. My drawing, love for drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the child that never grew up. I'm telling you, don't grow up. Eh? It's a trap.
We all get forced to grow up,
It's a
whether we
trap
want
that
to or
gets you
not.
later.
Yeah, it's just like keeping that part of you alive, right? Like when you're a kid, things like people say that it was simpler times, but it was just you didn't care. Like it was just your honest desires.
And
It's what you wanted, and it
look
was
at
just
the imagination of a child.
exactly, yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
it's real in the kid's head. Um,
Mhm.
the adult uses his imagination against himself, you know.
Mhm. Yeah,
We
exactly.
imagine something that hasn't happened yet,
Yeah, we imagine
and
the worst.
worry, and we
Mhm.
create the future based on those worries. So our imagination has projected some disaster that's going to happen in the future that's
Mhm.
against you,
Mhm.
and then now you're worried and fearful and like, let's avoid that, and
Yeah,
then now
exactly.
you're operating in a void. So
Yeah.
we are artists. You're going to
Yeah.
create that,
Mhm.
but let's create something like, don't use your imagination against yourself, because that's where the art lives, is in the imagination. Who
Mhm.
was it? John Lennon that had this song called Imagine, was it?
Yeah.
Imagine.
Imagine all
This is a
the
very
people.
powerful
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
Imagine. It's
Mhm.
a it's where the artist lives, is in the imagination.
Exactly. Yeah.
And our imagination, the future doesn't exist, okay? It can only be
Mhm.
imagined. So imagine it.
Mhm.
And we imagine it like we're gonna lose and it's gonna be a fucking bad thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
And I think that that's just a misuse of imagination.
Yeah.
Worry
Exactly.
is a misuse of imagination, you
Mhm.
know? And it's just, we're not applying that. So I feel like if I can manage to kind of keep hammering at putting that message out there, that we're all artists,
Mhm.
we're all creators. Let's
Mhm.
create
Mhm.
and abandon the reasons. Just choose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you, there's a very different thing between making a choice and a decision. A decision needs reason. The minute that reason goes away, you don't choose it no more.
Yeah.
A choice,
Yeah.
I don't care what, I choose it, man. I want that, you know? And what
Yeah.
I want was me.
Yeah. Exactly.
So those
Yeah.
are the
Mhm.
concepts, and I live that by that, and I experience it every day, and then I
Mhm.
create, and I just encourage people to do the same, you know, because
Yeah.
people are they want to be artistic and creative, but they just don't express themselves, man. They're held back
Exactly.
in their expression.
Yeah.
They are scared to do it. It's like, maybe I suck, maybe I'm not good enough, and then the world's full of judgment too. You know what I mean? So the fear of being judged is a big thing. Takes a lot to jump on a stage and be vulnerable, and people haters. Like, the more from it, I'll tell you right now, it's like, if you have 10 people that are your fans, for sure, 3 of those are haters. Now make that 20 people that are your fans. Now that becomes 6 haters now.
Yeah, exactly.
Make that 1,000,000 people. That believe me, they're all gonna have an opinion. You know what I mean? And hopefully, they hope that you give a fuck, or that their opinion forms you into something. But people's opinions have never formed anything. They, you know, and when it comes to the critic, where the critic doesn't practice the field, you know, it's like, there you are criticizing. Go make a movie, motherfucker. Like, you're criticizing. You're not even a movie director, you know.
No, it's
the
true.
critic is always criticizing.
It is,
but they go get them to make a movie. It'll be the shittiest movie ever. But they're gonna go and criticize the masters of this thing. So there's always someone that doesn't do it, that are the critics, the experts. Are never people that execute and do. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
True, it's very unfortunate. It's very sad, but it is.
It's
like,
sad.
it holds back a lot of people, and I think maybe it comes down to. Oh, are you going for
Give me a quick second. I'm just gonna get a charger, okay?
Okay.
Give me a quick second.
Thank you to everyone who's on this live. Hello. Hola a todos. I hope everyone is doing okay. Thank you for spending your Saturday evening with us. Hello, everyone.
Or do you have a laptop I can use? Only the one in my car. Do you have a USB? Okay.
Entonces, mira, es que se me está muriendo este teléfono y no traje cargador. So we're gonna have to cut it short. But, like, I really enjoyed our conversation, and Salvissupportingsalvis became a more universal topic here, you know? But
for sure.
You're Salvadoran, I'm Salvadoran, and we support each other, so it's still that, you know?
No. Thank you so much for joining our live. This was fun. I feel like motivational. It's coming from someone who's very well respected, well known here in the city. Whether you want the attention or not, it's there. We all know to push it.
I appreciate that. I got love for everybody. You know, I spend that one-on-one time with everybody. And everybody in Toronto, from Scarborough to Brampton, Mississauga people, everywhere. My American people too, you know, like in Los Angeles, tengo gente in Brentwood, Los Salvadoreños en Brentwood, en Virginia, en Washington, en Texas, allá en el centro de Los Ángeles, todo eso, man. Pico Union, todo eso. Y aquí en Canadá, en Toronto, aquí estamos. You know, these guys don't know, man. We out here. Y no se les imagina de que alguien de Canadá va a salir y va a salir con el español y va a salir con el inglés. Nosotros somos otro tipo de gente. Crecimos diferente. Somos otro tipo de inmigrante. Inmigrar a Canadá, realmente a Toronto, cambian las cosas. Y yo no sé, yo me siento que allá en los Estados Unidos me han apoyado mucho. So, you know, I'm working with all that. Y aquí en Canadá, en Nova Scotia, en Calgary, en Edmonton, tengo gente, and they're rapping, and I can't wait to put all I just wanna rap with everybody that I really admire and respect, you know. Maybe one of these days, you te tiras un little hook there, you know. Maybe bless me with a hook, you know. We start, you know, throw a female voice in there singing. I've never done that, no?
Should.
I should do it. And I like your voice. I know. You know that track that you bumping?
Yeah. Oh,
The one where
goodbye.
you were in the
Yeah.
ES?
Yeah.
That production has just such a feel good vibe. And you
Thank you.
treated it so well, you know? Like, I love the track. I'm not just saying that. It's well put together. That was a good choice of production you did.
Thank you.
Y no, le hiciste and you did an interview the other day. I'm watching you too,
Yeah.
okay?
Thank you.
So
Thank you
I'm
so
watching
much.
and I'm
That means a
following
lot.
what
Thank you.
I'm following what's coming up with you as well. Okay, it's a two-way street. It's not just one way.
Yeah. Thank you
So
so much.
maybe one day, one of these days, you bless me with a hook or something, a presence ahí, una.
Yeah.
A mí me gustan esas canciones de You're all I
Yeah.
need. Y que sale el man rapeando y pones a la
Yeah.
hembra a
Yeah.
cantar. Some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I don't
Well,
know
we
if you
will
like the
definitely be in
idea,
touch.
but al ratón le gusta el queso, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. I
Ciao
cannot
for
thank you
now. We'll
enough.
do this again another time, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Anytime. Just,
And then
let us
if
know.
you need
Yeah.
another tattoo, you better not be going to nobody
Yeah.
else.
To
You gotta
not,
go to the
yeah,
best.
no, for sure. I'll come. But
Okay.
you got to be super patient because this is like a 10-minute job, took like an hour and a half.
Holy, yeah, the guy's special.
I was like,
That
no,
guy's
please,
special.
stop. It hurts. Yeah.
Is he right now? He's being promoted. Where is he? What's his name? Drop his.
Uh,
What's his contact? Send
It
him
was
some
just that
business.
I went to like a random one. I went to like a random tattoo artist, and I was like, I'm just gonna get it done.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
One of those impulsive.
it was a
One of
choice.
those
It was a
impulsive things.
choice. It wasn't a decision. It was a choice. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
There
I'm
you
getting in
go.
there, and I got
You
it
did it
done.
for no reason at all, did you? For no reason at all.
No, I was just like, I'm gonna go get it. Let me just get it done, and I didn't make
Yeah.
it through. And I got in trouble for, still in trouble, even though it's been like a year later. Yeah.
Sounds
But
good, Melly. Te cuidas y
yeah, Dios
the
te
night's
bendiga
still young,
always.
so we'll see what happens next.
All right, thank you.
I had a couple of beers, so we'll see, but by now ya cerraron las patios.
Yeah. Bars closed. Last call
Back to
COVID hours.
quarantine. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
and binge watch something on Netflix.
Yeah, I know. It's just the normal. It's
Ciao.
just normal. Bye.
Adios. Te me cuidas. Ciao,
Igualmente.
everybody.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to our live. I will be posting this on my page. He shared with us the importance of being creative, of expressing yourself, and just, there's always going to be rejection. There's always going to be backlash, but that should never be the reason that you don't do something that makes you happy. We talked about how, everyone has something in them that just hits different. It's something that makes you feel different in comparable to, what you do in your day-to-day life. So the quarantine was a good time for all of us to really reevaluate everything, to really think about our priorities. And yeah, it was very inspirational what he shared with us, the importance of always being creative. And it's true, like even the clothes that we wear and just everything that we present ourselves, like that's a form of art. Like the way you do your makeup, the way you do your hair, the way you dress, all of it, it's a form. You start to feel confident in that. I feel that you can live a happier life. You can live something that makes you truly happy. And being happy is a state of mind. It's not about the materialistic things. It's not about what you have now, what you'll have in the future. Because what he said is, doing it for no reason, doing it because it brings you happiness. And that is, big on itself. Like it's something that, we can all, happiness is a choice, and how we go about achieving that is just really how we, it's something that we have to choose for ourselves. So I want to thank the Ink Pusha for being on the show. Sorry. I need a little drink. I'm very thirsty. But yes, I want to thank him for being on the show. I want to thank everyone for being a part of the show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you for anyone that is supporting Melly Queen and my music and everything. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Have an excellent weekend. If you are in Toronto, the weather is amazing, so we have no excuses to be inside, except if you're quarantining, of course. But yeah, you can go for a walk. You can go outside, enjoy the nice day before the winter comes. So thank you so much. We will announce our next guest. And yeah, I wish you guys an amazing weekend. Happy evening. And again, you can always check out my music and all of the interviews that I've done with the Salvi Supporting Salvis. And yeah, we're on to something here. And if you are excited and interested to see how far we will go with God's blessing and everyone supporting us, stay tuned for the next episode and make sure to follow me on Instagram on Melly Queen and Melly Queen Bands. Thank you so much. Have an excellent weekend. Bye.